What's up, everyone? This is the Lucas Ross Sports Channel, and it is time to give you my prediction for the upcoming 2022 Pac-12 championship game between the Utah Utes and the USC Trojans. Basically, how I've been doing these videos, I give you my official prediction at the end of the video. I go through the stats and give you a team comparison between the stats and also give you the game summary and who is the favorite going into this game. But the Pac-12 championship game is happening tomorrow, so we're making this prediction now. Utah versus USC, the second time they meet in the season, and people are calling this one the second best conference championship game, perhaps. I mean, probably behind TCU and Kansas State, but maybe for me, it's probably now the Pac-12. The Pac-12 championship is probably going to be the conference championship game of the weekend. I think this one is going to be a high-scoring game. Well, let's get right into it here with my Pac-12 championship game prediction between Utah and USC. We'll start with the stats first. And looking at both of these stats, we'll start with Utah first. Passing yards, this is a team that can really pass the football pretty well. They got a veteran quarterback. Cameron Rising has really been consistent this year at throwing the football. There's times where he has a bad game, but yeah, Cameron Rising is a veteran quarterback. He led this team to the Pac-12 championship last year. So, I mean, that's, what he did last year was really incredible. Can he do that again this year? We'll see it tomorrow. The running game is pretty strong for Utah. This is a team that can run the football pretty well. And they got some talented running backs. I mean, if you look at the running backs they have, they can run the football. And I think they can run all over this USC defense. We saw that in the first matchup. And I think this Utah team is pretty strong at running the football. I think once again they will prove that, this coming weekend. Points per game, Utah is averaging about 39.6 points per game. So, yeah, the offense overall is pretty strong for Utah. Offensively, in the rankings, they rank 20th on offense. It may not be a big number for them, but, I mean, this is still overall a really good offensive team. Defensively, they rank 17th. Yeah, Utah's got a pretty strong defense. I think this Utah defense can really slow down the USC offense, perhaps. Maybe this weekend. Maybe they'll be better than they were in that first game. But, yeah, I mean, overall, Utah's got really good stats overall in 2022. For USC, the passing yards are really insane. 322.6 yards per passing. Caleb Williams obviously probably is the front runner for the Heisman Trophy right now, and possibly maybe the Heisman Trophy winner this season. If you look at his stats, he's thrown for 34 touchdown passes. I think the only inconsistency about Caleb Williams that, when he gets into the game is perhaps, when he takes too long to throw the football. He does have a hard time at throwing the football. When he throws it away. So, yeah, he's going to have to really do better at that, throwing the football away under pressure. He tries to make something happen, so maybe he can do that probably coming up tomorrow. But the rushing yards, USC does have a tough time at running the football, but they do have some really good, talented running backs. They lost their starting running back due to an injury, but yeah, they got some talented running backs. So, this team can run the football. Will they be able to do it, though, against this defense against Utah? Utah has a hard time stopping the run, but, it's going to come down to both offenses who can win that shootout, and also the defense is especially important. USC averaging about 42.5 points per game, so this is a pretty good offensive team. You look at their offensive ranking, they are 5th in the country on offense, so this is a top 5 offensive team. Defensively, though, they haven't been really terrific this year. 91st on defense this season, so yeah, the defense is not good for USC, but they find a way to win games in shootouts, so that's the best thing about them. Looking at these stats here, I think Utah does have pretty much the advantage on both sides of the ball. They're overall pretty good on both sides of the ball, but USC has the advantage in offense. Looking at Utah's last 5 games, they beat Washington State on October 27th, Arizona 45-20. They beat Stanford at home. They lost to Oregon on the road about 2 weeks ago. That was a pretty tough loss there. And then they beat Colorado last week pretty easily. For USC, they beat Arizona on the road. They beat Cal at home, beat Colorado at home as well. They also beat UCLA on the road, escaped that one with a win by 3 points. And then they beat Notre Dame this past weekend by 11. Those are your last 5 games for both teams. Let's go to the game summary now. So this game between Utah and USC for the Pac-12 championship game is tomorrow. It's an 8 o'clock game on Fox. This one's at Las Vegas, Nevada. USC is favored by 3 points in this game, and the over-and-under at 67.5. So, and if you look at the FBI, Utah they're giving Utah a 61% chance to beat USC in this Pac-12 championship, which I find that a little bit surprising. I thought, maybe USC was going into the favorite in this game. I mean, they are the favorite, but the FBI is not really, high on this USC team. They're only giving them about a 38.8% chance to beat this Utah team. Maybe it's because Utah is so good on both sides of the ball. They just like this Utah team better, and I can understand that. I mean, Utah did beat them early in the season. Yeah, this is the second time that they will meet, this time in the Pac-12 championship. This time it's a neutral site game, though. It's not either a home team or a home game for both of these teams. Utah did beat them, though, by a 2-point conversion last game. The final score of that game was 43-42. Utah came out on top. But Utah, their 3 losses, obviously come to Florida earlier in the year, and they lost to Oregon as well. And they also lost to UCLA. So, those are their 3 losses. USC is only one loss. Obviously comes, to Utah, and this is a game that USC is looking for redemption in. This is a revenge game for USC, and in order to get there, they have to win this game in order to get to the college football playoff as well. It comes down to the playoff rankings as well. USC last night was ranked number 4, and then Utah was ranked number 11 in the playoff rankings, so that's where they were standing at. But the game summary here, 8 o'clock game tomorrow, December 2nd on Fox. Going to be a good one here between USC and Utah. All right, let's get to my prediction now. Utah is 9-3. USC is 11-1. How do I think this game will go? Well, I think it's going to be a shootout, similar to last time these two teams stepped down on the field. And I think it's going to be a back-and-forth game, like how it always was whenever, the shootouts happen. It seems like when USC, every time they play a weekend, they're always in kind of like big shootouts. I don't think last week, though, was really about a shootout, though. I think for USC, though, they're always so good in ending those games in shootouts. Their defense always pretty much steps up. But the only thing I think really changes here for this game is a turnover. I think, if somebody turns over the ball in the last second, they're going to win that game. But who's my prediction to win this game? I'm going to pick USC to win the Pac-12 championship. I think they do get revenge in this game because they're probably going to be ready to play. But this is my final score. I got USC winning this one 49-45 over Utah. It's another high-scoring game, another great time shootout. And both quarterbacks are pretty well experienced with the college game. Like Cameron Rising can throw the football, and Caleb Williams is obviously just Caleb Williams. He's the front runner for the Heisman Trophy, so yeah, both of these teams will be pretty much high-scoring teams and also a high-scoring game. And I think that's how the game's going to go out. A turnover really changes the game at the end. And I think this is kind of similar to the USC versus UCLA game, where USC probably forces a turnover perhaps. But some of these teams will turn over the ball when you go into this game. Like some of these teams will turn over the ball at the last second. That's how I think it's going to play out. But again, this game is happening tomorrow. Let me guys know who you think will win the Pac-12 championship. Will Utah win back-to-back years, or will USC get redemption in this game? Who is it going to be? Make your picks down in the comments below. And let me know what your score prediction is as well. And keep subscribing to this channel. We're trying to get the views up as well. And stay tuned here for more on the Lucas Ross Sports Channel.